Not surprisingly, the short list of young billionaires includes savvy technology startups, Ivy League graduates, and young heirs to massive inheritances. According to Forbes rankings, there were 63 billionaires under the age of 40 this past year, with a cumulative wealth of $265 billion. I'll be highlighting the 10 youngest of these 63, the youngest of which is 22 and the oldest of which is 31 years of age. But before we get into the 10-digit club, let's take a look at an honorable mention. Kylie Jenner, you might have heard of her, is on track to be a member of this esteemed club. As of last August, Jenner is worth about $900 million. And once she hits that magic number, as I'm sure she will, she'll hold the title of the youngest self-made billionaire. Now, I know what you're thinking, angry YouTube viewer. Self-made? Pardon me, Mr. Luxury. Yes, Kylie was born into wealth and fame, and she should certainly thank her parents and sisters and the producers of the reality TV show who granted her stardom. But, technically speaking, Kylie is self-made. She is the creator of her makeup company, and the income from that company is the biggest portion of her net worth. So, as long as she adds an easy $100 million to her net worth in the next 2 years, which seems inevitable, she'll take the title of the youngest self-made billionaire from the one and only Mark Zuckerberg, who reached that threshold at age 23. I find it quite poetic that Kylie, whose success relies almost entirely on the new cosmic influence of social media, is taking such a title from the man who is largely responsible for this new age of social media. But until Kylie reaches that $1 billion mark, here are the youngest billionaires on the planet currently. The list will be in order by age rather than net worth. Alexandra and Katharina Anderson are the youngest and second youngest billionaires, respectively. Alexandra is just 22 years of age, and her sister, Katharina, is just a year older. The siblings are Norwegian heiresses to Johan H. Andersen Jr., their father. Johan owns Ferd, an investment and hedge fund company that invests both privately and in the Norwegian Stock Exchange. In 2007, the daughters were transferred their inheritance from their father, which took the form of roughly 42% of ownership stakes in Ferd for each of them. The 42% ownership is worth $1.4 billion today. Alexandra was just 11 years old when the inheritance was transferred. In the comments section, if you would be so kind, let me know what you would have done if you had came in possession of $1.4 billion at the age of 11. Alexandra pursues her passion in horseback riding and has won several competitions in Norway. Coming in third on our list is yet another Norwegian, Gustav Magnar Witzøe. He's a young man who owns nearly half of SalMar ASA. What is SalMar ASA? Well, it's one of the world's largest producers of farmed salmon, of all things. Gustav came into possession of his half of the company in 2013, when his father gifted it to him. His father, who also goes by the name of Gustav, founded the fish farming company in 1991, and in its success led the industrialization of fish farming in Norway. And that's the type of stuff you learn here on Mr. Luxury that they refuse to teach you in school. The cutthroat industrialization of salmon farms in the Norway. The younger Gustav is now half owner, but his father still runs the company. Witzøe, in the meantime, is attempting to make a name for himself by investing in real estate and tech startups. And thanks to that amazing gift from his father, he's got $3.1 billion ready to invest. Gustav Magnar Witzøe is just 25 years old. I wish Gustav the best of luck and happy investing. Moving along to the fourth youngest billionaire walking the earth, Evan Spiegel. If the name doesn't ring a bell, his company certainly will. Spiegel is co-founder and CEO of Snap Incorporated, otherwise known as Snapchat. Snapchat is the 11th most used social media in existence, which is a surefire way to make billions. But it wasn't easy for Evan and his co-founder, Bobby Murphy. It took years for the company to even turn a profit, and the company has seen its fair share of disappointing seasons on the stock market. But at just 28 years old, Spiegel has done well enough for himself to earn him a spot on the list. Spiegel and his co-founder Bobby are both worth over $4 billion. Bobby Murphy is the owner of Snap Inc., and he himself is 30 years old. earning him the 8th spot on the list. Both Evan and Bobby attended Stanford University, where they met. Evan studied product design, while Bobby studied mathematics. Needless to say, they were studying the right subjects, and they certainly made the right friends. It really makes you rethink friendships with people you haven't founded billion-dollar companies with. Now we've gotten halfway down the list to find Ludwig Theodor Braun, the 5th youngest billionaire in the world. The 28-year-old is another blessed child to receive an inheritance worth over $1 billion. In this case, Braun inherited 10% of a medical device company called B. Braun Melsingen. The company started in 1939 as a small pharmacy that sold herbal remedies, and is now a major medical instruments firm that is worth over $10 billion. Ludwig's father took the reins of the company in 1977 and would later give 10% of it to his youngest son. The German-born medical device company has over 58,000 employees globally. B. Braun manufactures products that save lives, ranging from infusion and injection solutions to surgical instruments. Chances are, if you've gone to the doctor or the hospital, you've been assisted by something this medical manufacturer has produced. The medical device field remains one of the most lucrative businesses due to both the cost of products and the utmost necessity for those products. Ludwig, however, did not inherit as much as his older sister did. Eva Marie Braun-Ludig is the 10th youngest billionaire on the planet, and just as well as about 800 million more than her brother. Eva was granted 12% of the company, which puts her $2 billion above Ludwig's $1.2 billion. Perhaps I'm playing up the sibling rivalry a bit much. I'm sure there's not much animosity between the two billionaire siblings. Such is not the case for me and my brother. At number 6 and 7, we have yet another pair of siblings. John and Patrick Collison are 28 and 30 years old, respectively. John is the owner and co-founder of Stripe, while Patrick operates as CEO and co-founder. Stripe is a revolutionary company that builds software for businesses to plug into websites and apps, to instantly connect with credit card and banking systems in order to receive payments. This technology startup has earned each of the brothers about $1 billion. The two young men came up with the idea for Stripe while attending university in Boston, Ireland. Both of the brothers attended Castleroy College in Ireland, then they completed their education in the States. John attended Harvard and Patrick took his wits to MIT. Stripe created seal-proof methods for money exchanges between individuals and businesses online. The company is similar to PayPal as they share several core features. In fact, Stripe's design was so good that the creators of PayPal, Elon Musk and Peter Thiel, saw fit to invest in the company. So, essentially, John and Patrick Collison created a product extremely similar to a solidified technology titan, and it got the attention of the two men who created that titan, and they were inclined to invest. Sounds like a winning formula to me. Moving down the list, waving as we pass number 8, Bobby Murphy, the Snapchat guy. We discussed him earlier. Here we find ourselves at number 9. And the last in the video, as we've already touched on Eva Marie Braun-Ludig, the 10th youngest billionaire. Interestingly enough, of the 10 youngest billionaires, only 2 lacked a connection to another member on the list. In review, the 1 and 2 spots were sister heiresses. Number 4 and 8 were co-founders. Number 5 and 10 were brother and sister. And number 6 and 7 were brother co-founders. Which leaves our good friend Gustav, the salmon guy. And last but certainly not least, Wang Han. Coming in at a solid number 9 and a spry 30 years old is Wang Han. Han is a Chinese billionaire that inherited his massive wealth from his father when he passed. His father, Wang Junayao, founded Junayao Group, an airline. Junayao Air is one of the biggest airlines in China. The Junayao Group also has mass investments in retail, food, and education in China. Well, there you have it. The 10 youngest billionaires. Combined, these young adults have a cumulative net worth of over $20 billion, with just 275 years lived. In 2018, there were more young billionaires than ever before. I, for one, will be interested to see what the young people will do with their money. And I'll be curious to find out if any of these hotshots can make their way up the Forbes list. By next year, I'm sure there'll be a whole new list of fresh billionaires. And yes, I'm sure Kylie Jenner will be one of them.